Hello, everyone. Okay, we're gonna get started here. Just a quick note that today's webinar will be recorded, so it can be shared for future reference. Okay. So in saying that, good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining today's webinar featuring the Unlock Your Access to Select CSA Standards, Practical Tools to Boost Your Safety and Compliance. We're really excited to bring forward this initiative designed to support our members and associate members with access to specific selection of CSA standards at no cost to them. If you're joining us today and aren't quite sure of your membership status with AMHSA, no problem at all. Please feel free to reach out to our client success team at safety@amhsa.net, and they'll be happy to help you out in figuring out if you are a member. As we move through today's presentation, we'll be monitoring the chat and we'll bring forward questions during the Q&A at the end. If we are unable to get to your question, please don't hesitate again to contact us afterwards at safety@amhsa.net. So now, without further ado, it's my pleasure to introduce you today to our presenter. James Reed is an experienced relationship manager with the CSA Group, with over 10 years of success in supporting organizations through impactful training and educational initiatives. Throughout his career, James has worked closely with organizations to strengthen health and safety knowledge, build practical skill sets, and support continuous improvement across teams. With a collaborative and approachable style, James focuses on translating complex requirements into clear, actionable guidance that helps organizations better protect their people and meet their organizational goals. His experience working with diverse stakeholders enables him to understand the real-world challenges faced by municipalities and to deliver training that is relevant, engaging, and practical. James is pleased to share his insights with members of the Alberta Municipal Health and Safety Association and looks forward to contributing to today's discussion. So I will let you take it away, James.
Thank you so much, Stacey, and thanks for having me today. I'm so glad to be able to present this content to your team here and to everyone at AMHSA. It's a pleasure, and so thank you so much for having me. And thanks for everyone who's participating to join. Feel free to write in the chat if you have any questions, and we can address any questions that come along. I'm always happy to help. And of course, I'm going to jump ahead, but feel free to reach out to me anytime. I'm james.reed@csagroup.org. If you need any help along the way, if you're looking for something a little different, give me a shout. I'm always happy to point you in the right direction or share whatever I might be able to share with you. I'm going to get started here. So, well, first there's a video that I'm going to play for everybody. I'll get into our relationship with AMHSA right after this, but first I wanted to show you this video. It's a little bit about, this is starting from the bottom, this is who CSA Group is, what we do in Canada. Lots of people, you see the symbol around, but it's hard to pin down exactly what we do sometimes. So I'm going to show you a quick little video that we put together to introduce you to the CSA and show you where we've been, where we're going, and how we can support you in the future.
Every time you put on a hockey helmet, flick a light switch, or drive over a bridge, you're probably confident that they will operate as expected. And the reason you can have that assurance in such everyday things is because they're designed to meet certain standards. CSA Group facilitates the development of some of those standards. A member association, CSA Group has been creating standards for over a century. We're Canada's largest standards development organization, the custodian of over 3,000 standards. What are standards? Standards are agreed-upon ways of doing things to achieve a common purpose. They're guidelines that help ensure the quality and safety of almost everything we do at home, work, and play. Standards assure value, drive innovation, and even reduce our impact on the environment. CSA standards are developed by technical committees of expert volunteers. They're based on the principles of inclusive participation, respect for diverse interests, transparency, and consensus. These evidence-informed documents are continuously reviewed to ensure they remain relevant in our ever-changing world. Our first standard was for railway bridges in 1919. A CSA standard has been used to certify hockey helmets in Canada for generations. And we continue to set standards in industries like construction, electrical, environment, transportation, healthcare, and public safety. Standards are truly present in all areas of our lives, from mental health in the workplace and wellness in long-term care, to safety in the age of artificial intelligence and how we protect our environment. So, as you navigate through life, wherever your day takes you, remember, your confidence is no accident. By helping to make sure that safety and sustainability accompany innovation, CSA Group is holding the future to a higher standard.
Perfect. So I hope that answered some of your questions about what CSA does and who we are and where we're going. Let me skip to the next slide here. Oh boy. So there it is. There we go. Okay. About CSA Group. So this is a little bit more about who we are in the world and what we do in Canada and how we support everybody. The CSA Group is a very large organization. There's many different aspects to us, many different pillars. We have 12 different areas of focus, from health and safety to the environment, from occupational health and safety to I work with many different organizations from every different sector that you could possibly imagine. It's an incredible place to work, honestly. We have over, I'm skipping forward. We have over 10,000 members. So we have members that sit on over one, that you can see our last point there is over 1,000 committees. So like it said in that video, what we do is actually to help to develop those standards, but we don't just write them ourselves. We create these committees that sit on these, sit to help draft these documents. It's all consensus based. So we come to that consensus about what is the best practice, what is important to our communities, how can we help support health and safety, safety being the most important thing we do. We're a not-for-profit organization, and our entire goal is to improve, there it is, improve health and safety in the environment and trade in Canada and beyond. And it's protecting communities that we all serve. And I think we all sort of sit on that side of the coin in terms of that's our bigger purpose here, is to help support safety in the communities that we all live in, that we all serve, and that we all work towards. Over 3,000 standards. So we have, like that says, thousands of standards that from every different aspect of life that you could ever imagine. It's an incredibly complex atmosphere, incredibly complex environment of standards that help to drive safety in our communities, ensuring that products that come into the country are sold and certified to those standards to make sure that we are all using them in a safe way and that they're not dangerous to anybody who might be touching or using or utilizing them. So it's an important role that we have within Canada. And I always tell AMHSA, and I know when we first started, for me, they are our conduit to you. You are the end users. You're the people who really take advantage of these standards, that need them in their everyday lives. You reference these standards, and to that end, make safety a priority in your communities. And that is exactly our goal. So working with AMHSA is a priority of ours because they let us reach you, which are the people who truly need these standards in their everyday lives. So talking a little bit more about CSA, I'm going to make myself blush here, but it's a very complex organization. There are many different pillars here. I'll walk through it. I'm on the, you can see it there on the side here, education. I'm in the education side of standards. So what we do is, on my side of things, we develop standards development. We do research around those standards, and you can find that online. I can help link you to any of that research that we do. The research really drives that standards development. So that's where a lot of things start. We receive funding, or we create our own research reports around emerging issues in the world. So it's something that is it's very interesting. If you have a chance, take a look at our research site. If you Google CSA research, that'll probably get you there faster than me telling you the website. But from there, you can see hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of different research papers, case studies, articles that we've written, all about emerging trends in Canada that one day, maybe a lot of that research references different standards, but it's all working towards the development of new standards that might be needed. I work in the education side of things, so that's helping people learn about the standards, helping people understand the standards, and giving them tools to utilize those standards in the best possible way within their communities. Advocacy as well. We have a whole advocacy team that works with the government to leverage our standards within regulations and policies, and have them referenced directly in legislation. The Canadian Electoral Code, for one. Within the other side of the business is our commercial subsidiary side. We do testing of products that come into the country. We do inspections, and we do certification of those products. So a company will come to us with a new product and say, what can you help us do to help this, to make this safe in our communities? And we say, okay, well, it needs to meet this checklist of standards. We bring it in and we go on site there and we do a real inspection and make sure that it passed those tests to give it that certification up to a specific standard. This is all about the standards and how they are developed. And again, this is a bit of me repeating myself here a little bit here, but so within standards development, the standards promote health, safety, the environment, economic efficiency. From the education side, they provide choices based on the user needs. They increase user knowledge of standards. They guide the accurate application in workplaces and communities. So, and that is my role, is to make sure that I always say, when somebody asks me what I do, I say, all I do is make sure that the people who need standards get the standards. That's at the very bottom line. I just want to make sure that as many people have access to these standards as possible, so that it widens the reach of the standards and makes them more applicable to more people. It gives access to the people who need access. Within the research side, that's exploring potential standard solutions, looking at emerging trends, all of that sort of stuff, right on the grassroots side of things, creating it from nothing, looking at a problem, finding a solution, and driving it through standards. Through the advocacy side, that's more of the government side, so promoting the value of standards, engaging with government teams to understand how we can support them, and looking at emerging trends within from a government perspective as well. Talking about the partnership that we have with AMHSA. So this is an incredible relationship. It's so important to us because we are working directly with the municipalities in Alberta who have the need for these standards, and this would drive the most impact for us, really, right? It puts the standards in the hands of the people that need it. So the Alberta Municipal Health and Safety Association has selected a custom bundle of 34 key standards. These are the they went through 3,000 different standards, and they looked and they said, these are the 34 key standards that are really going to help support municipalities across Alberta. So I have these listed here. These ones that I've listed here are the most popular. We run reports based on usage. These are the ones that your communities are using the most and all the municipalities have access to. These are the ones that are activated the most, looked at the most, and read most frequently. So you can see the Z94.2, it's all around hearing protection devices. There's high visibility safety apparel, eye and face protectors, and it goes through, there's first aid kits for the workplace, and these are detailed documents that talk about the best practices for designing these sort of plans. So I know that in many of your communities, you're tasked with these sort of roles where you need to put together action plans. You need to understand the risks of different actions and in different communities, and we can help with that. It's the first aid training for the workplace, that sort of thing. That's going to impact a lot of people. So being able to have access to that standard, take a look at it on the fly whenever you need to, and reference something. Or I always say, a lot of the times our standards are used to prove a point. It's being able to write a document and say, I didn't just make this up. This is what it said in the standard. This is why we created it. It allows you to hang your hat on something and saying, see, the research was done. We had a committee of people that took a look at this specific need, and this is what was developed as the best practice for adopting safety. And that's why we wrote the proposal or the guideline that way. You can say within your municipality, well, it references this standard right here. And that is what we're trying to provide you with access to. So they chose three key kind of sections here. There's occupational health and safety, and I have those standards listed here. There's electrical, which includes the Canadian Electrical Code, which is a massive document in Canada, and then within infrastructure as well. So you can look at within the infrastructure, we have a safety code on mobile cranes and the safety in welding, cutting, and allied processes. Now, I have to say, actually, I'm just noticing this now. I should have noticed this in the run through that we did. We referenced the 2020 version here. There was just a brand new version of this document that came out. And that's one of the features of the program here. Whenever a new document is published, it is automatically added to your collection. So you'll have access to 2020 version of the Z150, but you'll also have access to the 2026 version of the Z150 as well. So all of that is included in English and French. You have access. You retain access to all of the previous editions as well as the new ones. I'm jumping far ahead in the presentation, but let's get started here. This next slide, I'm going to talk from the next couple of slides about how to activate your subscription and how you specifically can get access to it. And I should say, I'm sure I'm going to run through it. I'm jumping all over here, but I'll try not to step on my own words. So activating your municipal subscription. There is a quick user guide. I'll say that right first. If you want any of this in a quick, easy to digest version, we have a PDF document that is a quick user guide provided by AMHSA, and it has this specific information to it, the links that you need to go to and how to do these steps. I'm going to walk you through it, and then I'm going to show you live in a demo about how to actually do this as well. So, this is a page, this is the specific landing page for the Alberta Municipal Health and Safety Association custom collection. You can't find this. If you go to our website and search for it, it is hidden. This is a specific page. The link is provided specifically to AMHSA, and AMHSA pushes it out to you, and that through that link is the only way to actually get there. So you do need to retain that link in that email that I'm sure AMHSA sent to you. This is the link here if you want to write it down. But that is the page, and it has access to this this page here where you can add to cart and create your subscription that way. So that's exactly what you do. You navigate to this page through this link, you hit add to cart. You click on the Sharpen Cart page and you'll see your cart there, just like you would on any website. You see your cart and you'll see that you have access for 10 users in there. Also provides you with a custom coupon. So you can see it says $5,200 associated for this subscription. When you apply the AMHSA coupon, that goes down to $0. So you get access complimentary through AMHSA. Thank you, AMHSA. So when you click check out, you'll be required to create an account. If you don't already have one, you need to create that account. One little caveat there that AMHSA wants me to be very specific about. When you're creating that account, please, under company name, please list your municipality. It makes life a lot easier for everybody if you will list your specific municipality in that company name when you're creating your account. And use your municipal email address as well. Otherwise, there could be issues along the way. But as long as you're following those two steps and you check out with this product in your cart, that will create your subscription. It gives you access for 12 months. It's an annual subscription. So you have continual access for 12 months for you. And you can see here, prices for up to 10 users. It's a full 10 user subscription. So it'll be whoever checks out the document, whoever does this process, along with 9 others, or they can always take themselves out of the equation if they really want to later on. I can show you how to do that and have 10 of the users registered in here. So each of these subscriptions supports access for 10 users. So only one person from your municipality needs to create this account. Only one person needs to check out and create the subscription. And only one person needs to renew it after 12 months as well. And we'll go into that in the next slides here. Next, I'm going to talk about how to access your standards. So once you've created that account, you've checked out, you've created your subscription, you'll be landing on your document library. We're going to go through this again when I do the live demo, and I'll show you all the kind of ins and outs of how to get there. But essentially, you're going to have this live document library here. And from here, You can click on any of these documents. It'll open up all of the different versions spanning back until the Canadian Electoral Code is from 1922, I believe. So you'll have access to every single version of that document, which may seem excessive, but there are occasions where you need to look at the code that was published when that house or what have you was built to make sure that it at the time was built to that code. This allows you to do that. So you can look at all of the previous editions of these documents. You can reference those. You can show them to people who come to your office to say, why is it like this? You can reference this code, show them exactly what you're talking about. And then, of course, once you've opened that up, you hit view online and that pops right up for you. You can even save that link so that you can find that link you can save it to your desktop so that you can reference, if there's only one of these documents that you're going to open every single day, you can save that shortcut, have that on your desktop, and it'll open up right away for you. Same goes for I'm going to go all through this in the live demo as well. Same goes for sharing. If you want to share a document with somebody, they need to be inside your organization and they need to be like a registered user on your account. But you can send them that link. And if Joe comes to your office and says, why did you do it like this? You can send them that link and show him exactly what you're talking about and why you did it that way. How to add users, this is an important part. For anybody who's creating the subscription, we call them the admin. They're the administrator. I'm going to show you how to add those additional 9 users. So there's a license and user management section of the administration page when you log in, and you can manage all your users. I'm going to stop here for a second. You're going to notice that this platform is very simple. That's the whole point. We're really, our purpose is to provide access to the documents that you need to reference. So everything is very straightforward. There are not a ton of bells or whistles and distractions. This is it's a very professional resource that you can use in need to find these documents. So we try to make all of this as extremely user-friendly as possible, a very intuitive website. So when you're in manage users, you can search for an existing user. If you think they are already existing, you can search them up that way. If you just want to add somebody new who's sitting next to you at the desk and they're like, why can't I have that too? First name, last name, email address, you click add new user, they get an email that says, it gives them instructions. It says, you've been invited to access the subscription. They just have to register, create their own password, all that stuff, and then they'll have access to the same documents that you have access to, the AMHSA collection. How to renew your annual subscription. So this is an important part. Like I said, it's a 12-month annual subscription. So every year, AMHSA is going to have a new coupon for you. And that is going to allow you to renew your subscription for an additional 12 months to push that end date out further. So at the end of your subscription, when you're nearing that 12 months, I want to say it's about 100 days out from the end of your subscription, you're going to get an automated email from CSA Group that says, your subscription is about to end. That is a bit of a reminder for you to reach out to AMHSA and ask for that renewal code. So at that point, they can send you the code. You can renew for another 12 months. You can renew early if you'd like. You can renew even past the end date if you need to. It all works. You don't have to do it the day of, all of that sort of stuff. And as always, I'll say it first now, but if you ever need any support with any of this stuff, logging in, getting access, if you get an error, any of that weird stuff that happens in the technology world, we have a whole tech support team. So you don't need to reach out to AMHSA. You can reach out to us directly. It's tech support, TECH support at csagroup.org. It goes right into a queue. We have a whole team of people who are watching that queue to address all of those questions. So they'll get back to you same day, really. Sometimes it's within the hour, that sort of thing. So feel free to reach out to us. we really do have a team of people who will help you with any sort of technical issue that you have along the way. We're always happy to help. This goes through the subscription renewal process. So when, as I said previously, so when you are going to renew, you're going to go into your CSA on-demand account. You click My Account on the left-hand side, and I'll show you this when we do our demo. There's a little section that says My Quotes and Renewals. One will be there waiting for if it's due. If you're about 100 days out, one will be ready for you. That's kind of when that quote publishes. That's what triggers that email to you as well. So you'll be able to log in. You click on My Quotes and Renewals, and you'll see here's my 2026-2027 renewal card. You hit View, it populates and goes right into that cart page. You add your renewal coupon. It goes down to $0, just like it did when you first registered. You check out. And again, if you have any trouble, if you need any help along the way, it's tech support at csagroup.org, and we really will help with whatever you might need. We're always happy to do so. Live tour, it's time. Okay. Before I go in here, should I open up for some questions? Should I save this to the end, maybe?
Well, I'm sure we have a couple of questions right now, actually.
I saw, yeah. What can I help?
Savvy?
Yeah, sure. Taking the first question, when we try to add a new user, how do you add someone who is currently in the system from a previous employer? Getting a message that the user you are trying to add already exists within the system.
Yes, that is a fantastic question. That happens. So it's that is exactly what you described. So if that person has already registered with that email address under a different employer, then they already have a CSA account. So it's saying like, oh, this person is already in the system somewhere. We don't know if we can really move them here. Just email our tech support team. That's the easiest way to do it. We can just do it in the back end. That's the short answer of it. What they need to do, they'll probably have to, it depends on if they've made purchases previously, all of that sort of stuff. Basically, they need to move whatever assets they have into their new account. So it's a bit of a tech support process there. If they have an existing account, it really only takes about 5 minutes, but they just need to look at the previous account, see what's in there, and either move access over or give you that access into your new account, or decide what happens to those previous assets, that sort of thing. In most cases, there are no previous assets, and we just take them and move them over, and it's about a 2-minute process where they'll email you back and say, okay, you're good to go. So feel free to reach out. It's tech support at csagroup.org. If you get that message, it just means that person is previously registered and they're not a user in your account. I hope that helps.
Yeah. And next question is, does the access able to print off the standard or part of a standard, as reading on a phone is difficult when in the field?
Yes, absolutely. So no, you can't. It's the access is confined to just view access. So you can view the document, and I'll show you in the live tour how you can kind of work with it. But essentially, it's just a viewing document. So there's no printing, no downloading, no highlighting or note taking, all of that sort of stuff. That's all limited. If that is something that you desperately need in terms of being able to print it out, there is a way for us to kind of upgrade the account. There would be a cost associated with that. It's a discounted price because you're an AMHSA member, but reach out to us and we can provide you with that pricing. Otherwise, it's just viewable access. You can view it on your computer or on your phone or on your tablet anytime. And I agree, it is difficult to do it on a phone.
Taking another question, why in Alberta does the OHS legislation reference the Z94402 CSA Standard for selection, use and care of respirators 2004, when there are several updated made to the standard since then?
That's a great question. We should ask the Alberta government. No, it happens. Often there can be reasons why they don't change to the newer edition. Sometimes it's just that they have not looked into it. And they don't realize maybe they published that document back then and that was the most recent edition and they just have not updated it. Other times they have reasons for doing it. When they look at a newer edition, I've heard this several times where it's, we update standards. These are national standards. So sometimes there are, I'm really taking like the government, may not be my position, this is what the government would tell you. So often there may be, so say they reference the 2020 version of the document. Now there's a 2025 version of the document, but that 2025 version speaks differently about different aspects of those respirators, saying that it can only be used in this humidity or, to be in this specific place. Some provinces will say, well, that doesn't work for Alberta or that doesn't work for BC. And so they will stay with a previous edition, which is absolutely their right. Their job is to represent the people that they serve. So CSA's role is to work from a national perspective. So sometimes there can be differences there. It's something that the government talks about all the time in terms of harmonization and trying to get policies, standardized across all provinces. But as you know, that just does not happen all the time. So it's the government would tell you that is the role of them maintaining the needs and the needs within their policies towards the people they serve. If that makes sense. The other side of it, maybe they haven't updated the document because they just didn't do it yet. It happens quite frequently when the government will come to us and say, "Oh, we didn't realize that you had three editions out of line." It happens with the building code all the time. It happens in every different major code adoption, where sometimes it takes specific provinces longer to adopt, and sometimes they choose not to adopt, and that just happens. So it's a bit of a government choice. It's not really something that we can really control all that often. We make suggestions. We try to point people in the right place and understand their concerns, and we bring those back to the committees when new editions are published. But in the end, it's the choice of the administration. Not a great answer. I'm sorry for that one, but that's sort of how it goes.
Thank you everyone for answering the question, for asking the questions, and James for answering it. We can take other questions at the end. James, you can continue with the presentation.
Fantastic. Okay. And feel free to ask more questions. I'm happy to answer them in the most political way I possibly can. Okay. I'm going to give you a live tour right now. So let's do a new share, and I'm going to share my screen, and we're going to hope that this works out. Okay. Share sound as well. I'm going to hit share. Okay, perfect. So this is the main landing page for the CSA. So this is our store website. This is really where you'd be logging in. I gave you those links as well, and they're in all the documentation. You can kind of skip past a lot of this if you already have access, if you've already registered. You can find that link just for CSA On Demand, and that will pop up for you. You can go straight there. So right now, I have already registered here. Perfect. Okay. I'm just trying to move around. When you're presenting and you have those bars at the top of the screen, sometimes they can get in the way of the bars that you need. Okay, so this is the document library. This is the main page. Once you have navigated to this page, this would be where you are going all the time. I'm going to show you exactly how to navigate the library, essentially, and where you would end up. This is the inner workings of split show. Remind me later. This is your logged in page. This is your document library. This is CSA On Demand. So once I'm in here, I'm going to take you back home. Actually, this might take a second to load, but once we are back here, this is the admin panel. This is kind of the main loading page for everything. So it'll say, welcome, James. Obviously, you can customize any of this that you need to. But let's walk you through. If you need to invite users to register, you can do that here. This is kind of a quick jump to there. You can also find any support and guides along the way from this link here. So this looks into a user guide. If you're at a university and college, it doesn't apply, but you can go to this one. And then, of course, there is a custom one that we've created specifically for AMHSA that they passed out. So you'll be able to find that directly from AMHSA as well. And that has the specific links for the collection and all of that sort of information that you would need. So from here, you can see how many days are left in your subscription. You can find information for support as well. This is all within your organization. So I'm logged in as the administrator. I'm the person who created this subscription, which means that I'm the one who originally checked out with that custom collection in my cart. So it makes me the administrator. If I want to go to manage users, I can change that. So I go into manage users, and this will give me a look at all the different users in my account and change their roles along the way as well. Let me just move these things around here. So from here, you can see I am an army of one here. I have 1 of 10 users with document access. So I can add an additional 9 users in here. And if I wanted to, I can remove myself. Because sometimes the person who checked out this order and created the contract isn't necessarily the one that needs access either. So you can always remove access and add someone else. If you're tight for space, if you're like at that 10th user and you really need to manage your users, you can remove access and add someone new if you need to. So that original question that came in about the person already has an account, that came from here. I'm sure they searched for that person in here and it said, or they tried to add them and it said, this person already had an account. If that happens to you, contact us. It's tech support at csagroup.org. We just need to go into the back end, look at that previous account and merge it over to the new one and look at any assets, all that sort of stuff. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Within user management, this will actually show me all the users. So again, now I can edit access roles. So I'm the admin on here. If I want to change myself to just a base user and not have access to, the quotes and renewals and all of that sort of stuff, I can do that from here as well. I can go edit and I can change it to just user. If someone within your team has problems with their password, you can reset their password as well right here. Again, you don't need to reach out to us for support. If you have any questions or if you need anything, we really do have a team of people who are just sitting there waiting to help. Okay, let me go through here. So that is how you would manage the users. Of course, here's another way to add new users within the same document here, within the same portal. Those sections are all about managing the users on your account. You have up to 10 users who you can provide access to. You can also change your contact information. I'm wondering what kind of private information I have in here. Nothing too bad. You can manage your address book. If you want to change your address in here, you can change that. My quotes and renewals. I just created this subscription. If I'd created it 12 months ago, it would populate here. It would say, here's my 2026, 2027 renewal cart. I click view under the actions and that populates the cart here. Right now, there's no cart open. It would fly right into here with my 10 users and that page would open up. It would be my active cart and will show me a price. I need to take that cart and I need to get a coupon for it. So I reach back out to AMHSA and get my renewal coupon. I apply it to that cart. I hit checkout. It's at $0 and I check out and that renews that subscription for an additional 12 months. So that's how you kind of keep that subscription rolling. You do need to do that every 12 months, just so it's always active. From my orders, you can see anything that's been processed under their account. Often, this is your CSA account. If you're purchasing, if you say you need one print copy of the electoral code, you can do that as well. And that order would show up here so that you can see a receipt for it and all that sort of stuff. So everything's all in one place. Same with the learning. If there's any learning resources that you purchased, say you purchased a course for next month for working from heights, you can purchase it from the site and it'll have it right in here in CSA Learning, and you can manage the users there too. If it's not necessarily for you, it's for someone on your team, you can assign that training to anyone on your team within your users, of course. Wish lists, I'll go through here as well. This is very interesting. You can create a wish list. So if there are documents that are not in we have thousands of documents. If there is one that is not subscribed to through AMHSA that you do want access to, and you want to tell your administrator about it, you can create a wish list. So I'm looking at my wish list. It'll also show all the wish lists from your team. If you're an admin, it'll show everyone's wish list. And then you can take a look and say, hey, we have 16 requests for this specific document, all of that sort of stuff. You can review those lists. You could reach out to AMHSA directly and tell them, hey, is this something, this may be something that would support all the teams across all the municipalities in Alberta. Then they might be interested in adding it for everybody. If you think it's something that would be more specific just for your team, you can actually add that onto your subscription at any time. There'll be a price attached to it. It's prorated towards whatever time is left in your subscription. So say you have 1 month left in your subscription, so you're only paying for 1 month of it. And then you'll have to, when you go to renew your subscription, instead of free, it'll be $100 or whatever the cost of that standard is outside of the AMHSA collection. So you can add additional documents onto here anytime you'd like. You can kind of create your own custom collection as well. We went through user management. Now I'm going to go into document access. And this is again like how you would add it to those. I'm going to go into content libraries, what I meant. This is how you actually open up the documents and take a look at them. This is why you're here. So in document library, you can see there's 3 different libraries here. There's the learning library, the CSA Advantage library, and here we are with document library. So document library is the one you want for this scenario. Of course, so CSA Advantage is a different platform that we have. It's more of a one-to-one user sort of program where it's, if you're inspecting buildings in the fields and you need access all the time and to make all kinds of crazy notes and things like that and do inspections, that would be the resource for you in that scenario. And then the learning library, we have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of different learning courses from all different sectors that many people use all the time. So feel free to explore them. You get a discount through AMHSA as well, but you would find them anything that you've purchased within your learning library. And then, as I said, you can assign those to anyone in your team. I'm going to go into document library here, and this will show you the documents in your subscription. So this loads up. You can see a list of all the documents that you have here. One thing I'll show you right up front, you can download a list. If you want to just have this available to you, or if you need to show someone, hey, these are the documents we have access to, instead of copying and pasting or scrolling through all of these, you can download a list and send them that. It comes out into an Excel and show you a description of each one and the date and all that sort of key information that you probably need. They're all, you can filter through any of these as well. I'm going to turn on and off filters just so you can see it. You can filter through subject area, language. Everything's available in both English and French, obviously. The document type, so there's standards, codes, and supplementary documents. The publication year, there's many in there because you get all the archives as well. You get the publisher is the CSA. And then the status of each, so you can see many are active, and then some will be withdrawn, any of those older documents. So let's take a look. I'm going to open up the Z412 2024. This is the office ergonomics page. Now, as that question was asked earlier, that brings up a very good point. what if you need to take a look at the 2020 version? This would be the active one here, the 2024. When you see the colon plus the number, that's the year. The Z412 part is the designation, and CSA would be the publisher. So that kind of gives you a way to navigate these just from line of sight a little bit. I'll open up. So when I click on here, you'll see what happens. It comes up, it shows you a little bit of information about the document, and you can see all of the previous versions here as I scroll down. So you can see this is the active 2024 version. It's the most recent. This one is active as well because it's the French 2024. So we do F24, French 24 after the colon, and that gives you a bit of a line of sight about what you're looking at there. Okay, this is fun because I'll show you the R 2023. When you see the R in there, that means it's been basically renewed. So you can see it was originally published many years, 1989. In 2000, they reviewed it. So they're reviewing every few years, and then the R means that it was reaffirmed. So that means there were no changes to the document between 1989 and 2000. This is the reaffirmed version. So it gives you that idea that it was brought to the committee again. They took a look at it. They addressed any issues that may have come up during that code cycle, but there were no major changes that were made. So it was reaffirmed. So again, it was reaffirmed in 2017, and then in 2024, there was an update. And so it is a full new version. There's no reaffirmation. They probably added quite a bit of content there because it hadn't been updated significantly in many years. So that's just an idea of what you're looking at there. You can view this online. Click here, it just pops up. I hope this works within the sharing aspects of our demonstration here. Sometimes there's much security in place here for these documents. So it's all done within, it's going to work. That's fantastic. It's all done within Adobe. That's one piece that I should mention. You need to have Adobe on your computer. Most people do. But if you don't, tech support at csagroup.org, they can help you get it. It's free. And then that allows you to open these up. And there is security in place. So it is like a one-to-one user. Like if I were to take this link and send it to my buddy who's not in that subscription, it would get an error message. It wouldn't pop up for them. So you can see that opens up right away. It actually opens up to the last place that I looked at, which is interesting. So I'll show you this is an important part. I'm going to show you exactly how to navigate through this document to make it a little bit easier. I don't want to go to, what time is it here? We're running a little low here, but from here, my best suggestion, open up the page on the side here, the little control panel. I hope everyone can see that. This is extremely valuable for looking through standards. Standards can be very long. There's many pages you won't need to take a look at. So you don't need to scroll through all of them. You can click on this panel on the side and you can take a look at a bird's eye of all the different pages, and you can jump from page to page to find what you're looking for, which makes it a lot easier. Of course, you can scroll in and out depending on the capacities of your eyes and what makes you most comfortable. The little grabby hand guy makes it so that you can click, drag on pages and pull them down in that fashion. And then you can select sections here if you wanted to highlight something or grab it. You can take a look at it that way, and you can pan from one side to the other. So that makes it the usability. It's fairly simple, but generally it's enough in towards what you would actually need in the workplace. If you need more access, as I said, feel free to reach out to us. There will be a cost associated with making full access that provides, printing of the document and download, copy and paste, highlighting, note taking, all of that sort of functionality. We can add that on for you. There'd be a fairly minimal cost to it because you're upgrading from the AMHSA view access to full access at a discount through AMHSA. So you can thank them for that discount, and they provide you with the access as you would probably need it in most settings. But if you are working with the documents every single day and you're referencing them all the time and you wish there was more functionality, we can do that for you as well. Okay, so let me jump out of here. I'm going to go back to our page here. So we went through the documents. One thing I should mention here, if there are, and there will be, documents that you look at much more often or something that is very applicable to your job, favorite it because it makes it a lot easier. When you go, I don't have any favorites here when I clicked on it. When you go to that main page, they will all pop up for you and it makes accessing them just a little bit easier. You don't have to navigate and find the document. There's a search here if you're looking for something specific. But you can find it a lot easier. If there's something that you need all the time, add it as a favorite. I'll show you how to do it. I'm in Z41224. You need to click the specific version, but it's this little heart right here. I add the heart there. It says success, added to your favorites. And that makes life a little bit easier there. You can also share it. This little connected ion guy here. You can click on that, share it to your colleagues. It copies the link directly. So then you can go into your Messenger app or wherever you talk to your colleagues and share it with them. As long as they are already a registered user in the platform, they can open that link directly and it'll just go right in. They'll probably have to log in, but otherwise it just clicks right to it. Okay, so you can scroll through all the pages of documents here, of course. Anything that you might need. This goes through all of the different versions. If I need to take a look at eye and face protectors, as we looked at, you can go right into there. You can also hit the little drop down for the status there, and it'll show you all of the version history as it puts it. You can scroll back and look at when it was first published, 1988, 1982. It looks like that's the first one. 1982 was the first year that they published the standard on industrial eye and face protection. Makes things a lot easier, and in many cases, not in many cases, but sometimes there is a real need to look back at those earlier editions of things to see if things were done correctly at the time, right? Allows you to time travel a little bit. Okay. Now, I think I'll open it up for questions. I think we've gone through all of the most pertinent aspects of the platform here. As I said, it's supposed to be as easy and straightforward as humanly possible. So I just want to make sure we have time for questions and everything. Of course, you have my email address. If you need anything, feel free to reach out. If you have a technical issue, tech support at csagroup.org. But otherwise, I'll go back and we can take some questions if there's anything that we can talk about. I'm happy to work with you guys and answer any questions that might have. Jump back here. Questions or comments, feel free.
I cannot see any question in the chat box and in the question and answer panel.
I guess I did a great job then.
Absolutely. And I would extend a huge thank you to James and the CSA team for helping us in organizing today's session. To all our attendees, thank you everyone for joining today. You will be receiving a survey after this. We will appreciate any feedback you have. In case you are unsure of your membership status or you have any particular questions, please feel free to reach out to us at safety@amhsa.net. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much. Thanks, everybody. It was a pleasure.